Hey everybody, I'm going to do a basic tutorial on time frames and when you want to be using the stochastic RSI. So one of the indicators traders typically use to place their buys with a higher probability of making money. And I'm going to show you on a different time frame. So here's your time frame. This means 1 month, right? You have 1 month, you have 1 week, uh, you have all of these: 1 day, 3 days, one week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 months. What I typically like to use myself is the 1 month chart, the 2 week chart, the 1 week chart, the 3 day chart, and the 1 day chart. If you don't have the option to put a 3 day chart on there, it's because you're not paying for TradingView. You have to pay like $15 a month to be able to add that indicator. Uh, so let's throw that on there. The candles will look different, right? If I put it on a monthly or weekly, it looks completely different. You got to zoom out, right? But we're going to go to the monthly first. Okay, and this is Bitcoin, right? Let's throw on a stochastic RSI. All right, so history typically rhymes. It doesn't 100% repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So when you're looking at BTC, the inception of BTC, and we go all the way back to the very beginning of 2010, you can see how this moving average is going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. And normally this area down here, well, this all the time, this is the oversold area, which means everybody is selling, and this is the overbought area. This means everybody is buying. Oversold, overbought. It can stay up there as long as it wants for the most part, and it can stay down here as long as it wants for the most part. So when you're looking at this, if you bought BTC back here, when you would want to be buying this is whenever it's in the oversold area. This is where everybody is screaming bloody murder and panicking and everything like that. Uh, Most of the time you want to get it closer to whenever it breaks this 20 line. So typically when it first touches down here, it's not the best time to be buying. However, it's better than buying way up here. Okay, now you want to be selling whenever it's up here. That's not always the case, but if you would have bought down here and sold up here, you would have missed a little bit. But that's what I teach in the courses that I do, in the classes that I do. But you still would have made 6,000% back then if you just bought in here, sold up here. Okay, so let's look down here. If you look here, if you would have bought when it first touched, the price was at $460, and it still dropped 70% almost, 65% before it went up. Okay, but if you would have bought right here, you would have bought the bottom. Now, the creator of the stochastic RSI didn't want to confirm a buy signal until the moving average, or the stochastic RSI, passes through this line right here, which is the 20 line. Okay, if you look to the right, you can see this number 20. Okay, that's kind of where it confirms. So just knowing this and then selling whenever it confirms to a sell, just knowing this is going to help you make money in a lot of different areas. Now, if you did that right here, you would have bought the very close to the bottom. Okay, if you would have sold it right here when it passed through, you would have sold really close to the top. Now, you could do it again right here, and then you would have sold up here. And recrosses are important to know as well, and I teach those in my class. But if it would have crossed right here a second time, so if you would have bought right here, sold right here, you would have made a couple 100%. Okay, 200%. And then if you knew about recrosses, right, you would have rebought right here, and then sold at 800%, 750%. So all that being said, you can just look at the monthly chart and make buys and sells based on that. Now, to predict when things go, when the bottom is likely, and you want to look at lower time frames. So you can put we can put a vertical line on when we crossed. Let's just look at it right here, when we crossed here. So if you would have only bought here, you would have missed all this time, a whole year of buying. Okay, so you want to look and when to start buying something again. Now you'd go back down to maybe a 2-week. Okay, so if you look at the 2-week, it passed through the 20 line right here. So you could have, with a pretty strong sense of confidence, you would have said, well, I need to start buying here, though price might go down a little bit, and it fluctuates, right? Those moves don't look like much, but they fluctuated quite significantly. So this price went up from here to here like 80%, and it dropped probably 40% or so, 30%, and then all the way down to 45%. However, you would have had all this time to be buying. So that's like a year, 6 months to a year of buying within this period. Now, if you just placed one buy order, you'd probably be caught buying all the way up here. But you could have this time frame to be buying. So that's kind of how you would use the stochastic RSI, and then look at smaller time frames. You can go down to a weekly as well and do the same thing there. And you can look at around that same time, you passed through the 20 line right here, very close to the bottom. Okay, and you passed through the 80 line to the bottom right here. So if you would have played by that rule, you would have made a significant amount of money. Okay, now there's other things to pay attention to. I use Elliott wave, I use the MACD as well, I use the RSI as well, I use trend lines and patterns to make my buys a little bit more safe. And that's something that I teach in my group. If you're interested, it's you could take this and learn this over the next couple years, or this next cycle in crypto, and take it throughout the rest of your life in stocks. Nobody really teaches this stuff. You're never going to learn it really any other way unless you look through countless hours of video, and it's something that's very, very beneficial to learn now. Okay, you can also do it with the 3-day. And you can look down to this bottoming area. When did it pass through the 20 line? So the lower the time frames, the more fake outs that you have, right? But then that's where you look at divergence, and that's something else that I teach. Divergence is a pretty bullish sign and telling you that the bottom is very, very close. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoy it. I kept this a little bit short for you, but this is pretty valuable information. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.